Welcome everybody back to the channel, Reviews by Hunter. That's me, I'm Hunter, and it's my pleasure to bring you this lightly spoiler included review of Project Hail Mary. This movie was brought to us by the duo of directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller. And I'll just tell you right now, I enjoyed this thing from start to finish. Easily my current favorite movie that's come out of the year. I know we're early in the year, but still, not just of this year, one of the best sci-fi films I've seen in a while. Let's get into it. What is Project Hail Mary? Well, it's about a middle school science teacher who wakes up in space and he has no clue who he is or what he is doing there. He does have crew members on the ship, but they're all dead. Again, he has no idea why. Slowly regains his memories of his past, his mission, and the state of the Earth. He is basically tasked with investigating this microorganism that is infecting the Earth's sun. And if they can't figure out what it is and how to deal with it, humanity will eventually begin to go extinct in roughly 30 years or so. And so what we get is a great sci-fi mystery survival film with a lot more comedy than I thought there was going to be, and yet that comedy lands the majority of the time in this film. Like, it does not clash with the more serious tones and themes of this film. So from the get-go, I just loved how disoriented Dr. Grace is. That is the main character played by Ryan Gosling. And he, again, if you woke up in space and had no idea who you were, you would be just as confused and frustrated as he is at first. But he starts to regain, some memories of like how smart he actually is. He starts remembering that he is a scientist, and a really, really good one at that. In this movie, the stakes feel high, but they still feel realistic, and I think that's just because it's not like some super villain. It's not Thanos coming to erase the existence of half of the universe. It felt real. It felt like, whoa, what would we do if our sun was infected and we really didn't have any idea as to why? Like, that kind of feels scary. And along the way, he does meet, again, this is, I guess, a light spoiler. I don't remember if it was in the trailer. Along the way, he meets this alien companion named Rocky. And Rocky is an instantly lovable character. He is a mechanic, and he is from another planet, of course. But he is also trying to save his world. And so Rocky is more than just like an adorable pet that they put in there so that Dr. Grace doesn't feel lonely. No, he has the same mission as Dr. Grace, and so they team up, and their chemistry is so good. I can't believe I'm saying that about, well, an on-screen Rock, because that's, what he is, and that's what he looks like, hence the name Rocky. But he's just such a lovable character, and he's so easy to root for. But Dr. Grace and Rocky are both very easy to root for in this film, and the bond that they develop throughout the film just feels special, and it feels real. And again, even though he's a rock, like, there's just this crazy chemistry between Dr. Grace and Rocky that really helps drive this movie forward. It really does help some of those heavier moments feel heavy, for lack of a better word. And also, Ryan Gosling's acting in this film is absolutely amazing. He won an award for Barbie, okay? Some people thought he shouldn't win that award, although he was great as Ken. I think he might be better in this movie. I really, really do. Not only is he so good with that comedic delivery, it seems like it doesn't matter what you write for the guy, he's gonna make it funny. But on top of that, he shows more of his acting range. We see him in these moments of complete distress because he doesn't know what to do in a certain situation. It's just him until he meets Rocky along the way, and he still hasn't fully regained all of his memories. And so there are moments of frustration. There are moments of, I just want to go home. I want to go back to Earth. There are moments of, him feeling like he's not good enough. He's not up to this task. And oh my gosh, then when we tie it back into the past of leading up of how he got to be on Project Hail Mary, the impact is even better. I need to talk about this film's cinematography. absolutely amazing cinematography. Some of the best shots I've seen in a while. Oh my god. Some of the different stars and planets that they come across. This movie was meant to be experienced in theater, and I have an itch to go back and rewatch it in IMAX, actually. This movie, it was so fun. It's a 2-hour and 37-minute movie, PG-13, and yet I really didn't feel like, oh man, get me out of this theater, or, you know, I wasn't checking the time on my watch or anything. I loved this movie in its entirety. I really did. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's not just funny times. There are a lot of times where it does get very, I would say, heavy and dark. And somehow those different tones do not clash with each other at all. If anything, they sort of blend together in a way that makes this film stand out from a lot of other movies that I've watched, particularly sci-fi films that I haven't enjoyed in the past couple of years. And I really don't want to spend a lot of time in this review talking about Interstellar. I don't want to compare it to Interstellar. Interstellar is a masterpiece in its own right, but it came out in 2013. This has got to be one of the best sci-fi movies I've seen of this decade. Seriously. There was such great transitions between the past, the present, and the future. You're never confused about what point in time you are at. And not only that, it's some of the best transitions I've seen in a film like this, where it revisits the past and then back to the present and then back to the past and then back to the present. It's so smooth and seamless and connected, and it just helps. You know, we're seeing Dr. Grace in real time kind of fill in the blanks of what's missing, and sometimes these are clues that greatly fill us in of Dr. Grace's motivations, the motivations of the people behind Project Hail Mary, how serious this whole thing really is. And I just felt like there are so many moments where you may laugh, but you may cry. You may cry in this one, and there were many moments I was on the edge of my seat. This is everything I could ask for from a sci-fi adventure mystery type of film with some comedic flavors thrown in there, but they're all done so well. Absolutely, I think Ryan Gosling is a huge part of that, but it's not just Gosling. The soundtrack is on point throughout this entire film. For the heavier moments, it makes it even more intense. For some of the other edge of your seat, more intense moments that we see, again, makes those scenes feel even more important. Everything came together so well. The direction of this film, and I gotta talk about this too, one of the most perfectly paced films that you're gonna see. And I know you're probably thinking, dang, Hunter, you haven't said a single bad thing about this movie. What's going on? It's because I can't think of any bad things about this movie. This is how much I enjoyed it, guys, and that's why I was so excited to, talk about it today. My eyes are a little heavy today, all right? But guess what? I'm still trying to keep the energy up for you guys, all right? Now, the two main protagonists are just so easy to root for. The bond that they develop is so heartfelt, and it's very human. I know that some people feel like when you say that about a movie, you're kind of like taking the easy way out. But I don't know, for lack of a better word, it feels human, And there's loneliness in this film, but also it's a story about having to sacrifice yourself for the greater good, and in this case, the greater good of humanity. This is where I'm going to give a spoiler. We find out, you've been warned, spoiler warning. We find out that originally, Dr. Grace never wanted to be on the ship on Project Hail Mary. He was helping out with discovering more and more information about the astrophage, but an explosion happens where someone confuses a gram for a milligram of astrophage, and it's so powerful. This stuff is so powerful that it blows up this place that they're working, and part of the crew dies. So the other, main person we see on screen, usually shown in the past, is played by a woman named, I just had it, I believe it's Sandra Holler. Sorry about that. Sandra Holler. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but she plays a character called Eva Stratt, and she's kind of the one that is, spearheading Project Hail Mary. And essentially, we learned that Dr. Grace basically was forced to be on the ship. He's the last qualified person that can help on this mission to save humanity, and he initially declines it. And the reasoning from Eva or Ava is that, you know, you're the only one that can do this, and we believe in your abilities. And so he has to rise to the occasion. He didn't even want to be here, but he's capable and qualified of doing so. And eventually, he really does put his whole like heart and being into saving humanity. You know, and I loved there was one part at the end where like you get a little bit of this short-lived relief. Like you kind of think things are over until they're not. And then Dr. Grace is once again left with this huge decision to make. And it kind of brought back this anxiety of, okay, what's going to happen to his character and what choice is he going to make now, right? And, you know, this is a $200 million budgeted movie, and it looks like it. It looks like a big blockbuster quality production that absolutely needs to be experienced in theaters. And I love that the movie kind of makes you, at least for me, put yourself in Dr. Grace's shoes. Like, what would you do if you woke up on this spaceship and didn't have your memories? And then you eventually remembered that you didn't even want to be here. They injected you with some kind of, I don't know, I'm the word is escaping me, but they inject him with something. It puts him into like this induced coma, and that's how he ends up on the ship. Like, if you remembered that, would you want to spite humanity for it? Or would you still have the courage and the bravery and the belief in yourself that, okay, maybe I am the only one that can save everybody, even if that means it's going to cost me my own life? And, you know, a lot of the times his decisions and how he gets to certain decisions, they feel reasonable, and they feel, again, I'm going to use that word, human. Again, Ryan Gosling's performance might win him another freaking award. I would not be surprised. I hope this movie makes all the money. But that was really my lightly spoiler-free review of Project Hail Mary. I hope I did it justice of just how much I really, really liked this movie. I just loved everything about it, from the pacing, the characters, the themes that are explored are done so well, the soundtrack, the cinematography, the fact that it feels like a big budgeted quality sci-fi adventure mystery film. So good. So good. Now, you might be wondering what my final rating is, and I'll just tell you outright. I give Project Hail Mary a 10 out of 10, man. I think it could be an instant classic and maybe possibly a modern day masterpiece, which is not a word that I throw out very often when making reviews. I don't know if I've ever used the word masterpiece to describe the movies that I review, but this one might be the one. And before this video gets too long, I just want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Is there anything about this review that I missed? Do you plan to see this movie? And if you've already seen it, what would you rate it? Because I think it is that damn good. If I had to use one word to describe Project Hail Mary, I would say masterpiece. That's the word that comes to mind. And I will be rewatching this because just for some of the cinematography alone was breathtaking, man. Really, really well done from start to finish. From start to finish. You guys know how much I don't like bad endings, and this time we don't get a bad ending. Weird side note, Eva Stratt, played by Sandra Hüller, looks like my therapist that I used to go to. Not that they act the same, but they looked very similar, so it was oddly calming whenever she was on screen, even though she pretty much sent Dr. Grace to his death and then just said, well, I believe in you, champ, go for it, right? I wondered why she didn't want to go on the ship herself, too, because it's like, well, if you're spearheading this, certainly you're smart as well, but maybe she was just sort of the financial juggernaut behind this. And I haven't read the book, but I've heard a lot of people did enjoy the book as well. The only complaints I've even seen about this movie come from people that have read the book, and apparently there were certain things that weren't 100% adapted into the film. Whatever. This movie was freaking awesome. I hope you guys watch it. I hope you guys check it out. Have a great day. Take care. See you next time. Real quick, guys, I forgot to mention something that I think is too important to leave out. This is a bit of a spoiler, so you've been warned. But it's not just the Earth's sun that has been infected by the astrophage. It's actually multiple planets and stars, that are near each other. And there's one particular planet that has not been infected by the astrophage. And so humanity's hope is to figure out why that specific planet isn't being infected. And if they can figure out why, they can hopefully figure out a way to save their planet by, replicating whatever is keeping this uninfected planet safe. And that is a huge part of the investigation. It's kind of that is a big part of their last hope, other than Dr. Grace himself. And so, just the scenes that went into that with the investigation, those were super intense. But I just wanted to add that on because it's too important to leave out. Gosh, this movie was so good, guys. It was so good. See you next time.